Now to the big news from India. The Supreme Court has struck down electoral bonds. It has declared them unconstitutional. If you're an Indian, you know about this issue. It's been brewing for many years. Opposition parties were not happy with these bonds, but the government defended them. They said this was a step in the right direction. So today, the top court settled the matter. 5 judges were part of this bench. They unanimously struck down the bonds. Let's dive into the details now. What are electoral bonds? What was the opposition to it? Why did the court strike it down, and what happens next? First, let's understand what these bonds are. What are electoral bonds? The idea was introduced in the 2017 budget. The government said political funding was not transparent, a lot of black money was getting in, so the bonds were introduced. And here's how it worked. Suppose you wanted to donate to a political party, you could go to branches of the SBI, the State Bank of India. It has many branches across the country. You could go to any one of them. The bank would sell you these bonds. They came in many denominations. 1,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees, 1 lakh rupees, all the way up to 1 crore rupees. You could buy as many bonds as you wanted. Your name and details did not appear on it. Basically, the donation was anonymous. Companies could also buy electoral bonds. Again, same principle, completely anonymous donations. Once you bought it, the amount was deposited in the party's account. It had to be encashed in 15 days. If not, the money went to a relief fund. That's how the bonds worked. And how much money did they raise? Since 2018, almost 16,000 crore rupees, which is around $1.9 billion. That's how much money they raised. Out of this, the ruling BJP got 60% of the money. The main opposition Congress party got 10%. Now to the second question. Why didn't opposition parties like it? A, there was no limit to donations. So companies could give as much money as they wanted, and many parties did not like that idea. And B, they pointed to problems with the SBI. You see, the SBI is a state-run bank. So they said the ruling party can access the donor names. They can see which person or company has donated to which party. Maybe make policies based on it, or give concessions to the top donors. Which brings us to the third question. Why did the court strike it down? The petitions claim that electoral bonds violated a fundamental right in India, the right to information. Voters had no way of knowing who donated to which party and how much money. The petitioners said that was a violation. Now, the government side rejected it. Their case was built around 2 main arguments. One, these bonds can curb black money, which makes it a fair restriction on the right to information. And 2, donor privacy. Maybe the individuals or companies want to remain hidden. Maybe they like to keep their politics under wraps. But the courts did not buy it. They said the bonds violated the right to information, hence they scrapped the bonds. Now to the final question. What happens next? The court has issued orders to the SBI and the Election Commission. The SBI, the bank, must give donor details to the poll body. The date of bond purchase, the name of the buyer, the amount, and also how much each political party received. The Election Commission will then publish all these details. And when will that happen? Before the 13th of March, so less than a month to go. That's the Supreme Court's deadline. Now, the timing of this verdict is very important. General elections are slated for this summer. We are in peak donation season. So how will political funding be managed? As it was done before bonds, all donations above 20,000 rupees will have to be declared. Also, the donation cap is back. Companies can give up to 7.5% of their average profits, not more than that. How does this compare to donation rules elsewhere? It's different in different countries. Look at the UK, for example. There are limits to how much you can give a candidate in the UK. But to political parties, there are no limits. What's more, they don't have to be declared. In the US, it's similar. You can give up to $3,300 to a candidate and $41,300 to a party. But the US also has something called super PACs, Political Action Committee, that is a PAC. Think of these as independent campaign funds. You can donate as much as you want to these super PACs, and they in turn will spend on campaigns, not directly but indirectly. For example, attack ads against rival candidates. They will fund those. In Germany, it's a lot stricter. You can only give money to parties and not to candidates. Anything above $12,000 must be disclosed. So you see, each country has its own system, and chances are none of them are perfect. But it's incumbent on our politicians to strive for that perfection, to get as close to perfection as possible.
From impeachments to inaugurations, if it's a political story, we are on the scene. The race for the White House is heating up.
We're beating Biden.
How dare he say that?
If it's breaking news, we're live with the latest coverage. From the White House, the State Department, and Capitol Hill, we know the issues, but above all, we know the players to bring you the latest in-depth analysis on all the key stories that we're covering. I'm Eric Ham. Join me from Washington here on Firstpost America.